When was the last time I took my last steps? I don't know. I became so tired that I was actually okay with not walking because that's how tired I was. That's the reality of the disease. I'm Stacy. I live in Northern California, and I'm 23 years old. Duchenne muscular dystrophy is a very rare disease. 20,000 people in the United States have it. Duchenne muscular dystrophy, it's a muscle wasting disease. It's genetic. And so what causes the disease is you are lacking or completely missing a protein called dystrophin. And that leads to the cell actually dying. You know, how am I going to do these things? How do you put on your clothes now sitting down, right? So much adaptation so fast. You know, how do I get in my bed? Once you get those down, you're then going to have to adapt pretty soon in another year or two because it's just going to get worse. It's a grueling disease and it doesn't stop at all.
We have 4 children and 3 of them have Duchenne.
That's hard to watch, to just watch your child deteriorate, slowly decline, and then there's nothing you can do. It's very, very sad and frustrating, very difficult.
Most patients pass away in their mid-20s, and so being 15, I thought about I could be dead in the next 10 years. You know, that's crazy to think about. I took that as a challenge, so right after then I started figuring out, you know, what can I do to make a difference about this? What can I do to change the course of this disease? I started to destroy Duchenne when I was 15 years old because, you know, I wanted to go and destroy this disease, right? Really simple. We should use our suffering to help people overcome their suffering. Don't let your suffering go unused, but use your suffering to help people overcome theirs. Wanted to make a big difference within this disease. So when I was diagnosed, there was 0 FDA-approved treatments available for me. Today, you know, there's more treatments coming online, becoming FDA-approved, but even for me as an individual, okay, there's not really any treatments that I can take as of right now. A lot of these treatments are actually unique to people and their mutations, especially with Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
When we would go to their doctor's appointments, I would always ask, is there anything new? And there wasn't.
Not all treatments that are approved would actually be beneficial to me. They're not universal. And so there's limited treatment options for somebody like me.
It's extremely frustrating and somewhat debilitating, right? I think if people had hope and they knew that there was going to be something maybe just for their disease, their condition, their stage of that, it would give them hope.
I support anything that gives people medical freedom. I support anything that allows us to accelerate. And so this was something that I was always behind, and you know, I'm glad to see that we have a Right to Try 2.0, which allows even more medical freedom, which I think is great. The reason that Right to Try 2.0 is necessary beyond Right to Try 1.0, if you will, is because you don't need to have phase 1 data already in place. So you can just do a treatment right away if your physician recommends it. You know, I don't want someone to have to go to Mexico or go to Italy or go to some other nation in order to get the therapy. I want them to stay here in the United States, especially when they're dealing with a terminal illness. You know, that's already hard enough, and yet to find the energy and everything to go travel somewhere else, which you're unfamiliar with, to get a therapy is ludicrous and, quite frankly, un-American. You know, I talk to my doctors about these things. I talk to the companies about these things. Everybody's willing. The government's in the way. That's why I can't take the drug today.
You're going to be under the care of a physician, and for Elijah and Kai, I mean, the hope is the key.
If the patient wants it, if the company's willing to give it, and most importantly, in my opinion, the physician agrees with it, it's something that makes sense, and really the only reason I can't do it is because of the current law. That's very frustrating. Somebody that doesn't even know me has written a law which is stopping me from being able to take a drug today that could potentially totally change the course of my life.